Hey guys, Andrew Marsh here with DrewFit.com. I want to thank you guys for tuning in today. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a topic that may make you a little skittish and question everything I've said in the past and maybe discredit what I'm talking about right now. But I do want you guys to do research on the topic because this is a topic that I heard about 2 years ago, and I didn't do research until last year, and now I'm a true believer that it has amazing benefits, and that is the practice of urine therapy. So before you get grossed out and think that urine is a complete waste product, and that's what you're going to hear about 100% of the time from people, is that it is a waste product. I, on the other hand, from personal experience and hearing other testimonials, I am a firm believer that it is a 100% life product, not a waste product. So what is in urine? It's going to be made up of 95% water, and this water is going to be structured water. And if you know about structured water, you know it's probably the healthiest water that we can consume, especially if it's coming from your urine, because it's being created by your own DNA, kind of like your own personal water. The other 2.5% is made up of urea. Urea is kind of a cleansing agent, and you'll find that in a lot of beauty products today. And the other 2.5% is going to be made up of your DNA. You're going to find things like amino acids, fatty acids, stem cells that really repair and help regenerate the body, as well as hormones. And these are all things that, like I said, they're catered to your DNA. So if you may be low on amino acids, or you need stem cells for an injury, or your hormones are out of whack, I believe that urine provides these things to really fill in the gaps in your health. But that's just my opinion. Again, I want you to do your research on the topic. Now, how do you use urine? It's pretty simple. You can either take it internal or you can apply it topically. And when you do it internally, I recommend only consuming fresh urine. There's some people that will tell you to try small amounts of aged urine. I haven't tried that yet, so I'm not going to tell you that that's going to be safe. But fresh urine, I wouldn't wait more than 15 minutes to drink it, as it might start collecting some bacteria and whatnot. But you use it internally, drink fresh urine, and this will show benefits for your digestive health. That's going to be the first thing that you're going to notice, and other people have noticed other benefits, but I'll get into that a little bit later. Another thing about consuming it internally is that it has actually been shown to help give you the antigen if you get bit by a spider or a snake or, I don't know, a jellyfish or whatever. I know you've probably heard the thing where if you get bit by a jellyfish, you put urine on it wherever the bite was, or the sting, and it kind of gives you the antidote for that. The same thing works when you consume it internally, and it actually gets studied when you place, say you get bit and you take a little swig, you place it under your tongue where you have a couple of lymph nodes that will study the urine and actually give you the antigen to go fight off the poison. And I can personally attest to that, because I was going to the pool with my friend and I got bit by a spider on my hand, and I thought this is the perfect opportunity to test that theory out. So I went to the bathroom, went urine in a jar and drank it and placed it under my tongue, and we literally sat there and watched the lump on my finger go down, and the itching went away almost immediately. So that's just something from my personal experience that I thought was incredible. And again, that's consuming it internally. And also, I've noticed benefits consuming it when I was sick. I got a cold earlier this year, and to kind of kick the cold within the first 24 hours. And not only was I consuming it internally, I was also putting it in a dropper, and I had a stuffed nose, so I'd actually take a whole dropper full and place it in my nose and squeeze it in there and clean it out. And it works better than a neti pot, in my opinion. And I was also placing it in my ears to clear out my sinuses in the ears, and I also place it in my eyes sometimes as well. And that's when we get into applying it topically. So topically, you can put it on cuts and burns, and depending on how bad the cut or burn is. I personally work outside all day, and I get cuts from trees and stuff that are pretty minor, and I'll apply it the night of, and I wake up the next morning and it's virtually gone. You can also put it in your hair, and I'll touch on that in a little bit. I've noticed personal amazing benefits from applying it to my hair and skin as well. I kind of use that as my shampoo, conditioner, and my body soap, and the best thing about it is it's completely free. So that's another way you can use it topically. And you can also use it for a cleanser of the body, like I said, whether you're going to use it in the shower or if you're just outside in the sun, it's actually great for the sun as well. But aged urine, so before we jump into if you can consume aged or not, when you do age your urine, I want to make it clear that you store it in a glass bottle, not plastic, because the urine is actually strong enough to start pulling the plastic apart, and you don't want to be putting BPA from plastics on your body. So only in glass, and store it in a dark room where the temperature is pretty cool. So aged urine, like I said, some people do advocate that you drink it. Just small amounts of it. It can really increase the good bacteria of the stomach. Like I said, I personally haven't tried this, and do your research if you want to actually work on trying to work up to consuming aged. But what I use it for is really for my hair and skin. And if you're like me, I'm 30 years old and I have male pattern baldness that runs in my head, or in my family, I'm sorry. But I actually apply it to my head every day, usually before I go to bed, because I will say that it is a very strong smell and you don't really want to be around anybody and piss them off. Joke right there, pun. But with the aged urine, this really kind of ups the ante on how strong the urine is, and if you have a fungal infection on your head, it's really going to take care of that and make it virtually go away. I know that I've seen videos of people with dandruff as well, and they've noticed after the first application of it that their dandruff was gone. And like I said, I noticed great things about it. It really thickened my hair and brings life to my hair. I don't even use styling products. And I will say, I do not go to my barber with the urine on my head. I actually clean it off for their sake. So Matt, if you're watching, you're welcome. Another thing I use it for is for my skin as well. Like I said, I work outside, so I get a lot of sun exposure. And applying the aged on my skin, I actually noticed that it makes your skin glow and have a golden color to it. And I've actually gotten compliments at the gym from it. So it's really cool to see people actually noticing the differences and actually being vocal about them. But what are some of the benefits of consuming urine? I'm sure you're wondering. In my opinion, I think everything will benefit in your health, but that's just my opinion. Again, do your research on the topic. And before I jump into the benefits, this book right here, Urine Therapy, Nature's Elixir for Good Health, is a book I highly recommend. It tells you how to use it for a lot of certain ailments that people have. And this is where the benefits come to play. I put things down like constipation. This is probably what you're going to notice first, is I don't think constipation can exist when you are practicing urine therapy. So what I personally do, every morning I wake up, I drink my first morning urine about 5 a.m. and I wait about 10 or 15 minutes, and to make sure I get a good morning release, I drink 10 minutes later, I drink about 16 ounces of distilled water. And probably 20 to 30 minutes later, I have a good release, a good bowel movement that's very healthy. And like I said, constipation, I don't think it can even stand a chance when you're on urine therapy. Another thing you're going to notice, acne and wrinkles. I know a lot of models I've done research on that actually apply aged urine to their face before they go to bed to take away any fine lines or wrinkles on their faces. And they're very big proponents of it as well. Good for headaches, joint pain, fungal issues, like I said, whether they're topically or internally, if you have a fungal issue, or candida or parasites. It's been known to really eradicate candida and parasites. And asthma, this is probably the first thing I noticed with my research. I came across a YouTube channel, allegedly Dave, his name's Dave Murphy, and he actually did a 30-day urine fast. That's right, 30 days on complete urine, nothing else. And he said on about day 4, he was going for a walk and all of a sudden got an urge to go for a run because he hadn't had energy like that for a while. And somewhere between the 30 days, he noticed his asthma was completely gone. So again, that's just another great testimonial that really made me want to research urine therapy even more and start practicing it. And once I started, I really never looked back. And another benefit, hair loss. For me personally, like I said, my family has male pattern baldness, so I do this religiously with my hair. And I can tell you, I've tried tons of products and supplements to prevent hair loss, and nothing has even come close to urine therapy. So how do you guys jump into consuming your urine? Me, my very first time, I was really skittish on trying it. I had the whole glass filled and I was just looking at it for a little bit, trying to see what exactly it was. And I just took a couple swigs of it and I was like, it's not that bad. I dumped the rest out, and then the next day I gradually started drinking more and more. Now I just drink the whole thing. But when you first start off, I want you to really just go into a glass and just look at it and study it and see what you come up with, and try to make it okay in your head that, hey, this isn't a waste product, this is actually something that can really benefit my health. And another thing scientifically I came across I forgot to mention, urine actually has 4,000 compounds in it, and I believe that they've only been able to find about 1,500 of the compounds. So really what this tells me is that our bodies are creating something that is so far beyond anything that we can research in a lab that it's just an incredible product, and it's helping our bodies in more ways than we even know. And another benefit I left off, was sleep. I noticed the first time that I consumed it, it was in the morning, about 5 a.m. I drank it, I laid back down, and I literally passed out for another 2 hours. And I was like, holy crap, this is the real deal. So again, when you begin consuming it, I kind of got off track there, but when you begin consuming it, put it in a glass, study it, maybe try a little bit under the tongue, and then gradually work yourself up to it, and things like that. But I just want to say thank you guys for watching today. That's about all I have for urine therapy right now. I'll probably make a whole video series on urine therapy and how it's benefited certain ailments and that stuff. But if you guys can go ahead and subscribe to my channel or leave me any feedback, I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching.